Excuse me. Hi all. Back to still here in the night. Enemy action Kharkov, Soviet Soul, take 2, part 57. Right. I've just realised that this could be a quick impulse by myself as well. I had so I maybe could have squeezed a wee bit more in. However, it depends what the German impulse is going to be as well. But yeah, it's nice to have some short parts as well, I'm sure. Right, sorry, I was another one of the occasions. 33 seconds that was on the clock, and I got called away for something. So totally ruined my. I should have probably just scrapped that 33 seconds and started again. I would have known where I was at. Right, I'm carrying on anyway. Yeah, I think I was saying that I might have a short impulse because I'm actually contemplating just the replacement point. Yeah, because I did, at first I started looking here and I thought, right, what are we going to do with this pop-off card? And, we could have another attack on this. Yes, okay. It's just one step, but the replacements only come along, they're few and far between, like we said. We're not going to get this card next turn. So, I think I should do it. There's not an urgency to really attack, And of course, the other thing I was thinking, what am I doing with this card? Well, I can't pass or anything like that. I can't. So, however, the Germans are going to have an impulse once I play this. I might be able to have the last sort of opportunity to use that as a combat tactic, maybe, in defence. And then, if not, I'm just going to have to activate either any one unit or 2 First Guards Army stacked units. I'd be able to get an IP on one of them, wouldn't I? Maybe if I activated one of these 2 anyway. Probably this one. Well, yeah, maybe either or. But we can see the German impulse in between. So, I think I will. I mean, initially, I started looking about the attack, but I don't think so. I think we go with the replacement point. Now, sign of replacements. Now it's this guy in here. We do have 2 eliminated units, but you can see they're both mechanised from pop-off. And we've got other reduced. This guy's reduced but mechanised. And this guy's reduced mechanised. However, this guy below him is the unit we're going to have to use the replacement point on. So just double checking. So it says, yes, the priority is flip a supplied 1-step non-mech unit on map to 2-step side. Well, he's in here, he is in supply. 1, 2, he's on that road, he's off. So we're going to flip him up to his 3 strength side. So, I mean, it's good for the fact that we've now got an extra step and an extra strength in this hex as well. So, yeah, I'm starting to think that I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that you're only getting one of these per army. 1 supplemental card per army that assigns a replacement point. So it's going to be at least another 2 turns. That's assuming that card comes back. Of course, the random 2 that don't come back. It's going to be another 2 turns before we get to consider that option again, So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you would think that it might have been better to get some sort of thing on the Germans before we finish the turn, but after the last disappointing impulse, but it's probably more sensible doing it that way. Yeah, and there was no restrictions to doing that, I don't think. I just needed to be in supply and be able to trace supply, I think it is, isn't it? Should I glance at it just in case? 16.1. Restrictions, unit on map with 2 or more steps. Yeah, start with 6 steps. Well, actually, yeah, but it wasn't. It was only 3 steps in the stack, wasn't it? So we've increased the steps to 4 in the stack, but 3 units, so that's fine. A Soviet unit in a hex outside Soviet support. There we go. But he's not. He's inside Soviet support, so that's okay as well. There you go though. If he had been over here, he's outside Soviet support, so that wouldn't have been an option. So something to keep in mind. Must be in supply, in a hex in support, and from which supply can be traced in order to receive replacements. Right, I'm fine with that. I think all good. Okay, so that's that. Pretty much quick impulse. That's why I'm thinking that maybe we could have squeezed this into the end of that last part, because I mean now we've only got this to do, and it's going to be a quick impulse. Well, if it comes to an impulse, if the Germans get an attack, I might well be using that, and then that'll be that. So yeah, we're closing the end of the turn anyway. Right, so on to the next German impulse, I guess. I want to just double check this unit's in the right hex. He's the one I nudged, wasn't I? I'm pretty sure it is, but I just want to double check. Yeah, that's indeed where he was, so all good. Right, let's get, which could be the final German impulse. Is that right? If I happen to play my combat tactic in this impulse? I think so. Oh, right, well that's 40 core, so you know what? This is a chance of me maybe getting to use this then. Right, so deploy all reserves, there's none. It's not going to repair, is he? Activate all units first, then replace 1 step, he would. So activate all units in 40 core. Okay. Right, this could be interesting then. Although they are all on their own, so they do need the right action cards. But I mean, these are going to move. Surely they're going to move adjacent, whatever. Right, so we've got them kind of spread out, but it's not a Kampfgruppe card. There is also one under here, so I'm going to bring him up top. And that down the bottom, that's one of the 57 core units. So 40 core, there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 units. Nothing else I can see about. Yeah, so we're going to attempt to activate them. Okay, let's get to it then. So action steps between 5 and 7 if behind Soviet lines. No, right, move to VP hex, right. Remembering again that it would move away. Tom Castle come back with a good reply to Martin's sort of question regarding that. I suppose I'll just look up here again. And it was when I was talking about, I mean, there's more units here now, but there was only 1 unit here, and I could have moved back, and then it would have let these guys be proximate to me there. And, I found it quite a bit strange, that move Martin did as well, and he popped a wee sort of, not a question, but it was more a sort of observation about it. And Tom came back with a good sort of reasoning. I mean, early game, it's probably what the Germans, I'm not going to comment right up in front of me, but it was basically along the lines of early game, it is something the Germans would want to do to protect the VP hexes. But he did point out that later game, it's unlikely to happen, and you're either going to get big stacks of units like this where it's not going to be proximate, or a situation like I had when the unit moving back there then meant that it was restricted because dangerous round was inevitable, if you like, on something. There was a restriction broken. So maybe a fair point with that. My addition to that is, like again, I say, I think you could easily just miss the move though, because you're not thinking, because of the way it works, that you need to move first and then the unit becomes proximate. I think it's an easy rule to sort of gloss over and forget about, as I kind of did, really. I only got lucky with it that time because it was going to be breaking a restriction. So anyway, so that's where we're at now down here. So is there anything like that? There's a victory point up here. If I moved, actually I can't reach it, but No, I don't think I can. But if I had moved to there with any unit, would a Soviet unit then be proximate? It wouldn't. It wouldn't. And there's same up here as well. I mean, this guy going to the out to here. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So that was step 2. So we're going to draw action cards. So this could be a quite important part. Right, sorry, getting called away. See the dog again. Right, yeah, action cards. That's what we want. We want 2 action cards. So let's see what we get this time. They've not really worked for the Germans up to now, really, have they? Right, here we go. Oh, well, things could change. Look at that. Attack and major offensive. Right. A11 and A13. So we're looking at major offensive first. Ooh, I've got a bad feeling about this. I think we might be putting our battlefield replacements into place right enough. Oh, what was it? It replaced a 1-step unit, didn't it? Infantry unit. Well, that's the guy we just replaced there, isn't it? So we're going to have to use the other option if it does come down to it. And that, what is it? It reduces a hit, I think, which is pretty good. Okay, so major offensive. I guess since that involves everybody, doesn't it? So situational strength of active unit, stack, and other active units greater than or equal to 3 times proximate Soviet unit stack. Okay. Just reading on there a bit to the may end move in dangerous round, because I don't want to look at the possibilities and then find out I'm in dangerous round. I can't do that. So it does indeed enable the units to end in dangerous round and not be bothered about it. Okay, so is it ascending order? It is. So ascending order. So we've got unit 1 away at the back here. 3, 4, and then 10, and then the 3 reduced units, 15, 17, and 18. So yeah, 7 units. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Okay. So unit 1. Right, 3 times approximate Soviet unit stack. Situationally, what have we all got here? I mean, sorry, no, that was me. That wasn't the tripod falling away from me. This guy's going to be too far away. Well, on our first check, anyway. So unit 1 is only going to be able to look at, I think, these 3 here. So what strength is that? That's 7. 7, 6, and this is 3. So I mean 3 7s is 21. What have we got here? 5, 9, 10, 11, 15, 17, 19. 19, 1, 2, 3, 4. To be honest, yeah. So 22 against 7 is 3 times. So that could be considered if we can get all the units round about, and it looks like there's space round about for that. So interesting. Now, this guy's going to be the weakest. What's its priority on the card? Because one is a victory point. So action, all active units proximate to qualifying target move adjacent to target and attack. Prefer target A weakest, B and VP hex. And then it says non-active proximate units, in lead units, army, join attack. Non-active. Active unit stack and other active units. Yeah, the only guy that's stacked with somebody is this guy, but that's not going to apply unless he becomes the lead unit. So I think that's unlikely. And then there's not any non-active proximate units in the lead unit's army. Well, hang on, that's a point. If he did become the lead unit, it would be the guy underneath, so that would become third corps, and then maybe they could respond as well. But I don't think it's going to come down to that. Okay, so it's looking for weakest, and this would be the weakest. I mean, what's the command card of the command value? The card's 3, right? Let's just check. There's no IPs. There is defenders adjacent, so each one of these is going to have a +1, depending on which one that it goes for. We're all going to have a +1 because they're all adjacent to a supplied Soviet unit. That doesn't apply. Unsupported hex doesn't apply. Dispersed, supply, isolated, out of supply, isolated. Command card, value 4 or 5, no. Major offensive, that gives a -1, the card itself. Yeah. So that would cancel out the 1. So really what we're looking at is what the actual values are. So that's a 7, that's a 6, and that's a 3. So if you can get 3 times on this, hang on, what is it? Is the definition of weakest the actual stack of units, or how much they can get at? I think we could do with finding that one out. Weakest unit stack with lowest total situational strength. Okay, so it is. So if we can get 3 times on this is the one that they want to go for. And it's not that we could maybe get, you can maybe find we can get 4 times on this, but we can only get 3 times on this. Then it would still go for that because that's the weakest stack. That's the way I'm seeing that anyway. Okay, so can we get... Well, all you need is 9 strength on that, don't you? 3, 6, 9, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So he can get down. That's 5, 9, yeah. That's a goal. That's a goal because these 2 guys can come in on this. It's also the VP hex. And it also makes some sense. And I'm also starting to panic. Yeah. And let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't. It's alright. Unit select to 1, which we're checking just now. 3, 4, 5, 6. You can only get down to here. You can't get adjacent to this, which would be 3 strength as well. So, yeah. So that's going to be their target. And they can achieve the situation. So all active units proximate to qualifying target move adjacent to target and attack. We've got the preferred target, the weakest one. The next bit's not going to apply. May end move in dangerous round. So it wouldn't break other restrictions, but because this guy's moving from behind everything, it's not going to allow another unit to be in dangerous round when it makes a move, and whether it ends in dangerous round itself, it's irrelevant. And yeah, just other stuff we'll need to deal with. Okay, so we're now going to be needing to look at 10.54 again, because there could be more than one option. Possibly only 2 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means he can move to here. Or he can move 1, 2. Hang on. No, so I'd got that wrong, haven't I? I've moved right past that guy, haven't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so he's got 2 possible options there. Selector number 1, who's the lead unit. Right, let's zoom in a little bit on things there. Close it up a bit. Nah. Right. So moving adjacent to a Soviet unit. prefer a hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded. Neither of them do that. Okay. A hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Neither of them do that as well. No, I tell a lie. As Martin rightly pointed out, if we move to this hex, then we're the sole unit adjacent to this Soviet unit. However, we're also adjacent to a German unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So that hex is not an option. And yeah, I could see that one maybe. I mean, the way it's written, that is right. I could see there being something within the rules. I mean, these two guys that have been talking about it, I mean, even Tom admitted that he hadn't actually been playing it that way, or he'd been playing it wrongly, I think. So there maybe, and these are the guys that playtested the game as well, so maybe there is something in that. There's definitely something that could do with getting answered by John, but I'm sure we'll get it eventually. So that means he's only got the one choice, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to leave a cube up there just now, just to make sure we've not done anything wrong. And then next would be selector number 3. This is this guy. So where can he move to then? Well, he can clearly go 1, 2, 3, and he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there we go. He can get right round there, or he can go here. So that's his 3 options. And again, remember, they don't care about being in dangerous surround. I mean, obviously this guy moving here, he's in dangerous surround. Well, you would see that if I showed you the Soviet unit here, but yeah, 1, 2, he's in dangerous surround, but the card allows for it. I mean, major offensive, they're not caring, they're getting right in there. Okay, so there's the 3 possible options for selector number 3. Right, so is it possible? I think this surrounds this guy, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. This one doesn't, because we already checked that one. Yeah, so preference A is a hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded, so that'll be that. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from there. And now it's surrounded. This is looking grim, isn't it? Okay. Right, and we're not done yet. And that's him got enough. I mean, that's why I'm carrying out this. Because I think I only looked at this. This is 9 against 3. So it's 9 against 4 because he's got Soviet supplied units adjacent. However, the major offensive gives a -1, so it is 9 against 3. So at the moment it's 3-1, and we've achieved the situation. So next unit would be Unit 4. And yeah, he's coming in as well. I can 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't get any further around, can we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no. So he's either gonna, yeah, he's going here, here, or here. But each one of these hexes are going to have the whole adjacent to German unit, adjacent to Soviet unit, aren't they? Each one of them. Yeah. So, and he can't surround. Oh. Right, hang on. Have I botched that up? I thought that was going smooth as well. I mean, surely this first unit would have been surrounding this guy. Right, let's do a quick rewind. Hang on. Put him back. Put him back. Right. Let's make it work, Grant, please. So, we know he's wanting to go for this guy. We know we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get these two hexes. Yeah, I've messed that up because I looked at that hex. Because first priority is surround, and I've looked at this one saying, right, we can't surround this guy if we move to this hex, but it doesn't specify that. I don't think it does. A hex that would cause a hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded. Oh, okay. I'm not sure about that then. Because this is our target, and neither of these hexes surround this unit. However, if I put the unit here, hang on, does that not surround that guy as well anyway? It probably does. Yeah, it does. So that doesn't matter then, Grant, does it? But interesting question there. I mean, if this is my target, right? Here's your question, or the question. This is my target, right? Now, let's just say I can't surround it with any of my possibilities. However, if one of my possibilities surrounded another Soviet unit, would that still count? I mean, my thinking with the way it's worded, then it's got to be this Soviet, it says the Soviet unit, which tells me it's the one that we're moving adjacent to. Okay, but however, it doesn't matter. Now, how did we pick this hex over this one? I can't remember. Right, so hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded. Neither of them cause this unit to be surrounded, but both of them cause this unit to be surrounded anyway, so that's fine. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, but I'd be interested. I don't know if the situation could arise like that. I mean, I kind of feel like it could, where you could surround another unit, but is it just referring to the unit that you're moving adjacent to? I tend to feel like the way it's worded that it is. Okay, so hex not adjacent to German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Both of them. Oh no, they're not, are they? That's why we ended up moving here. Because this is adjacent to this unit, adjacent to this Soviet unit. However, it's this one we're talking about, but that still means that's not an option. So actually, he is coming down here after all. Okay, but yeah, curious to know about that one. Any thoughts on that? Does it mean just the unit that you're moving adjacent to, that the preference regards surround? I think it does the way it's written, but there you go. So yeah, where did Unit 3 move then? He moved. Did he get down to here? We had all that sorted. I think I can probably put that back. So again, he can move here, here, or here. And why did we move him down there? Because he was surrounding. Yeah. Is that not right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because if he moves right round here, this does surround this unit. Whereas that one doesn't surround that unit, and that one doesn't surround that unit. Yes, Grant. Pretty sure that's what we decided. Okay, well we are. No, I will leave the cube there, but I think we're good to go now actually, because I feel like Unit 4's not got any problems coming adjacent as well. So, and again, both of them moves don't care about ending in dangerous zone. If they were causing another unit to being surrounded. However, the other units are all active and not yet acted, so don't cause any German unit in hex in Soviet support. Oh, in actual fact, well, these two are in Soviet support, but however, unless that unit is active and not yet acted, so we can ignore that part because these are active and not yet acted. So there's that. So there you go. And the other one could be don't cause surrounded Soviet unit to be unsurrounded. Well, yeah, and then the proximity bit to a VP hex, but yeah, we're not. I mean, if this possibly would restrict this unit, because he would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he can actually get round to that guy, but he would have to go away around that way. And say he could make it, then he would maybe open up a gap here for us to like reach a VP town. But I don't think he's actually able to reach. Right, so Unit 4 is next. So, and we decided he can't get any further around, can he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So he can only reach these 3 hexes again. They're all adjacent to a Soviet unit, all adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. This one is empty, however, which is the next preference, isn't it? Yeah, preference C is an empty hex, so he would move to this one. And I'm just going to take these away now because I'm confident that we are not going to need. Right, and then Unit 10 is next. Now this guy here, yeah, we might not be able to get him. I don't think we're going to get him or him. Yeah, well, I know for a fact we're not going to get him because he's infantry. He can't come down in here. So, no, he can't reach. Next unit would be 15, which is this guy. And like I've just said, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he can make it, can he? How did that? Ah, he's breaking zone of control, Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's one short of being able to reach this hex. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, it's still the same, Grant. Okay, so he can't make it adjacent to this unit. And then Unit 17 can. He's breaking zone of control. 1, 2. So again, could reach any one of these 3 hexes. Now, is he opening anything up? No, there's not a gap with him moving still. Would he? Well, it doesn't matter. These are active and not yet acted. Remember, so we don't care about them. Even if I'm creating dangerous around, we don't care. So which hex does he go to then? This one, this one, this one. None of them are empty. It's going to be most movement points, isn't it? A hex. Well, here's a bit where it comes into it, but it's not going to apply. But it says a hex occupied solely by German units not attacking in this action. So, if we had a hex here that was adjacent a German unit, but it was 3rd Corps and it wasn't attacking, then that's why it would move into there. So it's kind of like it's an empty hex, really, for the purposes of the attack, because if you get my drift. And then most movement points to reach. So it's 1, 2, 3 to get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get in there. 1, 2. Oh, he's only infantry, Grant. I think it's going to be here then. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can't actually reach this hex. So 1, 2, breaking zone of control. 3, and then 4, and that's the 4 steps in that hex. And then finally, Unit 18. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can actually reach both hexes. because there is space in here. There's only 4 steps, 2 units. But he could reach here as well. He cannot reach here. Yeah. So, again, no surround. B doesn't count, C doesn't count, D doesn't count. And then it's 4 movement points. So we're going tiebreaker, which is... what is it again? Hex enables an R German unit to trace supply. There's no issues with that. So lowest numbered hex. So that's... no, excuse me. It's going to be this one, isn't it? 2504 is the lowest numbered. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just checking because he has opened things up a little bit there. But you can see that although there's an open route now going out to this, we're not anywhere near proximate to it. So yeah, don't cause Soviet proximity to enter garrison German VP hex. To enter garrison German VP hex. Well, I wonder if that should be classed as non-Soviet VP hex. Maybe, I don't know. Because I know it was sort of unclear if they were really German or not. Yeah, well, you know what, we can't reach it anyway, so okay, that's good. Well, it's not good. It's bad. But that's him all moved, right? There's still 2 active units that weren't able to join in here, but that's fine. They've got enough. So our action was... hang on. Okay, so just so we can see things there. So all active units proximate to conquering target, move adjacent to target and attack. Prefer A weakest. That's the weakest. Well, it's actually also a VP hex, so it covers both non-active proximate units and Lead Units Army. Well, the Lead Units Army is the 40 Corps, and there was no non-active proximate 40 Corps units. They were all active, because that card activates them all. So may end moving dangerous round, right? Right, if greater than or equal to 6 steps, well, that is correct, yeah, there's more than 6. Are attacking break off combat at A4, otherwise A2. So they're going to break off not until A4. This is kind of scary. If target eliminated or dispersed, conduct another activation with same command card after current activation. Oh, jeez. That's horrible. That is horrible, isn't it? And they're also getting intelligence and artillery. And we've not drawn a combat tactic for them. Well, that went wrong quickly. Okay. Right, well, let's work out some numbers first. Right, odds. So now we're away from situation, we're just looking at the numbers. So we've got 2, 4, 9, 13, 17 against 3. Yeah, so 17 against 3 is 5 to 1. Is that right? Yeah, it's just short. However, we've got intelligence and artillery. I'm not sure about intelligence again, so bear with me. Intelligence, German attack. The German CV is considered to be 5. So the command value of the card's a 5. You can't put... oh. I can't play... this is the one, yeah, this is the one I got muddled up with before, I think. I was thinking it was was it Combat Engineers or something. You can't play Soviet combat tactics, so So we're not getting to do our battlefield replacements. Yuck. And it says, if the printed German CV is 4 or 5, increase Soviet hits by 1. Well, the card is a 3, so that doesn't apply, but it's regarded to be a 5, or it's considered to be a 5 for this attack. And then 5 plus, if the attack hits is not in Soviet support, disregard the first hit. Well, the attack is in Soviet support, so that doesn't come into it either. So the command value of the cards are 5, and we can't play combat tactics. That's what it boils down to. We know what artillery does. Yep. Okay, so combat chats is 1, 2, 3, and then 2 for that one's 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2 combat tactics is 8. Right, hang on, we've not drawn a card yet, have we? Not drawn a card yet. What step is that then? German attack, determine target and attacking units and move attacking units adjacent. Step 2, apply combat tactics called for by the action card. Right, that's what we are doing. And then draw 1 command card and apply its combat tactics. I found a strange part of this when I was looking at the German solo rules. It felt like it was a wee bit different. I wasn't looking at the actual rule book though, it was just the rules I had a copy of. Right, 4 plus artillery. Well, he's already got artillery. And yeah, well, this brings up what I'm about to say, and I'm actually going to get the rule book out and have a look for the other. I know this is a different game, but, you know. Right, I'm actually going to take a pause here, guys, because that's got to 42 minutes, and it looks like I've got space issues on my phone, so I think once it gets about 40 minutes at the moment, I'm going to just have to copy it across. So, but I will be back tonight to finish this part off, and it will just join on here, so don't panic. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Cheers. Hi all, right, back to finish part 57. Sorry, I kind of, well, it doesn't matter to you guys, it's joined right on here. But I've been away for a couple of hours. And then come back to Martin giving me some not so pleasant news. Well, not a mistake, but just reminded me, too late Martin. But I think you probably knew that, and I'm not sure. Ah, dear, dear, dear. It turns out that using the Stavka card on the 40th Army would have been the better option, because as Martin's pointed out to me, that if I remove this unit, yeah, I'm trying to trace around it now, but it's not. I never noticed that at all. How do you guys spot these things? Yeah, as he's pointed out, that if we took this unit out, this guy could trace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I not make it then? I obviously can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah. Why did I not see that? No, Grant, it doesn't work. And yet it's only 6 hexes into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the road. So, like he's mentioned, that if we took this unit out, this unit would be able to supply onto the road, and then let's show you for sure. But yeah, we wanted to get on this road, so if he traces on this road, then he's got a supply trace. So it turns out this was a waste of time, and it was riskier, and well, okay, we didn't move this in the end, thankfully. That would have been even worse. But I mean, we wanted to do the 40th Army. We wanted to have a go at that guy. if we managed to eliminate them, or even, dare I say, possibly retreat them. Well, no, hang on, he would retreat to here, but if for some reason he retreated that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if he retreated away from this hex column into this hex column, then we would be able to come down the side and still get our supply, even if it wasn't eliminated. No, well. Well, like I say, an isolated unit that's sitting doing nothing anyway isn't the end of the world. Although if the 2nd SS Panzer units decide to stroll over there, then that's going to be bad, and that's a whole turn to wait on that. However, yeah. What about air supply? That's a good point. So we look seriously at any air supply events that we get, and no, not necessarily, because if we get him, if we take the isolated unit off him, if he's isolated, which he's going to be, then that lasts until the next check, supply phase. So there is that. But that's annoying, because this is what I wanted to do first, and I've not registered that at all. I've not looked. Well, it's the same when I was looking at supply trace for this guy, and I'm tracing it down the road when, have a look, Grant. Yeah, dafty. Anyway, right, thanks for that one, Martin. No, that's well pointed out. Okay, right, back to the action. Let's get this dealt with, and maybe even get the turn finished, I think, because, well, I'm not going to be able to play this, because because they've got intelligence, we can't play combat tactics, so they're going to get another impulse, which is rather annoying, because I think if I'd played combat tactic there, this would have ended the turn. Is that right? I want to say that's right. You know what, I'll not look up the rules yet. I think it is, if I play my last card in the German impulse, then they finish the impulse and then turn ends. I think that's right. I would double check it if it was going to be the case, but it's not going to be the case, so yeah. Okay, so what we've got is they've got artillery in this battle. Oh yeah, no, we've drawn this. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I need to get is that the solo rules? Yeah, okay. So hang on a sec, I'll pause just now, hang on. Yeah, okay, so it is definitely different between the two games, which is a bit strange, I think, because I thought this has got changed up from Ardennes. And I'm talking about combat tactics and, right, this situation here where we've drawn an artillery combat tactic and we've already got artillery. Now, pretty sure, understanding the previous game in Ardennes, although this didn't do anything extra combat tactic wise, it still applied a chip draw. I'm pretty sure that's right, but now that's not the case. Well, it's not the case in the Soviet solo, because yeah, a combat tactics is applied. Right, hang on. If a tactic is not applied, I'm trying to find this and give me a sec. Hang on. Yeah, okay. I think I found it. Page 30, 13.26. Multiple German combat tactics. A German attack may receive combat tactics in addition to combat tactics gained from a command card draw. First, every attack by a formation activated by the Manstein card receives the air power combat tactic. Okay. Then, the action card calling for the attack may list one or two combat tactics. These apply to all attacks called for by the action card, and that's where we're at. We're getting intelligence and artillery. So, and then finally, the combat tactics on the command card drawn for the attack are applied. So we've got artillery here. The effects of each German combat tactic are applied to the combat, and the Germans receive an additional combat chip draw for each applied tactic. If the Germans receive the same combat tactic twice in a single attack, such as 2 artillery combat tactics, which is what we're talking about right now, the effect is applied just once and only 1 additional combat chit is drawn. So we don't get this additional combat chit. Okay. Right, well, I mean, okay, why should we bring in the German solo rules into this? But it's just because I was reading the rules recently, and yeah, now did I have that on the right page? Yeah, okay. Right, give me a sec to find, to read out, find the bit I want to read to you, hang on. Yeah, it was this part here, and okay, I'm on German solo rules now, sorry, page 31, 12.3 combat tactics, and there's 4 steps further down, a wee bit further down, and it's step 3, and it says draw 1 card from the Soviet deck. Remember, the Soviet's the AI in this version of the game, and apply any combat tactics listed on the card. Add a combat chip draw to the attack for each tactic on the card, even if that tactic does not otherwise apply to the attack. So that, if it is, as I'm reading it, is, I'm sure, totally different from the previous 2 solo games. It does go on about auxiliary cards being slightly different. They've got to meet all the requirements. Yeah, I'm not going to go heavily into it, but it's just I was reading that part of the rules recently, and it triggered something. And it's strange that, coincidental, this situations arose that but I'd known this from reading the rules in the German solo that this doesn't apply at all. It doesn't give me artillery because we've already got artillery, but in the previous game, I'm pretty sure it used to give a chit draw. It does not give you an extra chit draw. So I'm pretty sure that's right. Well, I've just said that, haven't I? If the Germans receive the same combat tactic twice in a single attack, such as 2 artillery combat tactics, so that's exactly what we got. The effect is applied just once, so they only get 1 artillery, but that was always the same in the previous game, and only 1 additional combat chit. Now that's different from the previous game. As far as I can remember, you used to get an extra chit pool, but it's just that bit in the Soviet solo rule, the German solo rules there, saying that it doesn't matter if it applies or not, they still get a chip draw. So, interesting. But I suppose we'll get to all that, won't we? Yeah, we will. One day. One day far, far away when we get this game finished. Okay, well, the Germans are trying to make it quicker, I think, here. So, nothing changed there. The card that we drew did not apply. It was artillery, does not count. So we're still in the same situation. 5-1 odds, 8 chip pools, minimum of 2. We are in a town. We are only infantry. Yuck. Yeah. Not good. We just used a mobile group pop-off card to replace a point as well, didn't we? I mean, we're going to attack something, weren't we? We're going to attack this, maybe. And now I'm seeing, what you should have actually done, Grant, was like, maybe strengthened this victory point. That's a hindsight thing again, isn't it, really? Okay, well, nothing we can do. We can't even play a combat tactic, so there you go. Right, let's make a little space for some chits, although he's wanting 8 of them, so... And he's probably going to draw 8, because what was he breaking off at? A4. And then also if target limit, this impulse could go on a little bit as well, because they're going to start again. If they eliminate or disperse us, which is a good chance. Right, we need some serious luck with the chip drawing here. Right, so we draw the minimum of 2 and then it's individually one after the other, isn't it? Until they either get enough hits to eliminate us. And although they've got this surrounded, we do have a unit adjacent, so we could move into there to avoid a stat loss. However, just realise that if we need to retreat a second hex, we're going to have to retreat into a zone of control. So if we have to retreat twice, our second retreat is going to cause us stat loss as well as the retreat. Yuck. Right. Just double check. German attack. Draw combat chits. Yeah. Draw chits one at a time till maximum is reached. Well, we've got to draw the minimum first, and then they just draw them one at a time until they either eliminate us, or they hit A4, or they reach 8 chip pools. Right, okay, well, let's get the first 2 then. Come on, you know, where have these been? I've been looking for odds chits for a while. That's terrible. So, for him to eliminate us, well, it was 1 for the town, okay, and then 1 to retreat into here, then 1 to retreat into, well, I don't know, maybe here it'll be. However, that second retreat into here is going to give us step loss, so that's like 1, 2, 3, then we're at 1 step. 4. Yeah, he needs D4. And he's got D2 in the first 2 chits. Yeah, we're finished here. I think we're finished. Well, we need to get terribly lucky. Right, so we're going to draw them one at a time. Okay. Okay, well that doesn't really help our cause. That's D3, you know, and he's D4. Right, so we'll get the 4th one. Okay, right, bit of relief. That shuffles back in the chits that was set aside. City Town Woods, it is in a town, so D minus 1, so that takes them back to D2A1, so we'll draw the 5th one. Alright, more odds chits, 4 to 1 this time. Again, look at this, see some of this could have, the last 3 combats we've had, I think all of the chits would have, well, apart from this. So that's 5, that's him back up to D3, isn't it? So, yeah, he needs 1 more hat again, that's 5, so, yeah, let's get the 6th one then. Okay, this one doesn't apply, it was 8 to 1. 8 to 1, disperse or unsupported, I think. Defender not supported, but he is. And less than 3 to 1 doesn't apply, so what we're hanging on, that's 6. 2 to, but I mean, we're losing the town anyway. Unless there's a miracle in the last 2 chits. But, okay, I'll get the 7th one. Okay, some relief. Sorry, it's along here if you can't quite see. I'm running out of space here. Defender adjacent, and we do indeed have a supplied friendly defender adjacent to us that's not being attacked in this, because that's what it's got to be. Applies a defender adjacent to undispersed supplied friendly unit not yet attacked in this activation. And applies to Soviet units only if defending and adjacent units in support. Again, something to keep in mind, but they're in support. So we're hanging on here. I'll tell you what, hang on, what's that now? Is that D2 again? Well, I'll tell you what. If we can draw 1 more of them, or a town shit, 3, 6, 7. He's only sitting at A1, so he's not gonna break off. Okay, 1 more to go. Well, we can't eliminate us. Well, I'm saying he can't eliminate us. If he draws a D2, he can. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're sitting at D2. But remember, soaking one up for the time, so another -1 would be perfect. Right, okay, I'm away to get it. Yeah, what do you know? More odds again. Actually, it was a large attack on the front. I thought, well, he's getting that, but at least we're getting a hit on him. But again, as we've started to see, large attacks with 5 and 6 to 1 are going to benefit the attacker, which kind of makes sense. Yeah. That was horrible. Look at that. 2 5 to 1s, 2 4 to 1s, and a 2 to 1. So, you know. Yeah, you better, Grant. Yeah, I'm a bit. Okay, so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2, so it's D3. Yeah, we're just hanging on, aren't we? Is D3 an A1? Okay. So 3 hits to us, 1 to him. I could get rid of the chats. Right, they're all just going back in the cup because we've got the replenished chat. That's right, I just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -2 is 3. And then A1, yeah. Right, okay, so 3 hits to ourselves. Well, 1 soaked up by the town takes us to 2. Oh, hang on. What is, if we are eliminated or dispersed? Oh, we're going to be dispersed. Hang on, Grant. No, we're not, because we're going to do something clever. We're not going to retreat a second hex. Because we're taking a step loss anyway. Would that result? No. Okay. I think this works then. Right, so our first retreat has to be into here. Because this would give us a step. Yeah, it's a hex in enemy zone of control occupied by a friendly supplied unit. So it's retreat priority 2. So, I mean, we don't have the choice with this. This is what you've got to do. So, but that doesn't achieve us a step loss. So that soaks up the second hit. And then for the third hit, now we don't need to retreat. And if we were to retreat, it would have to be in one of these 3 hexes, and they're all in German zone of control. So not only would we be dispersed, we would take a step loss as well. And then the dispersed part would trigger that. However, if we use our last hit there to just stay there and take a step loss rather than retreat, we don't get dispersed. We still take the step loss, yes, but we don't get dispersed. Clever. Okay. That's what the smart players would do, isn't it? But the smart players would realise that if they took out that Rouse unit up there, then that guy would be able to trace supply. Yeah. Okay, that is right. I don't need to. I'm sure it actually says somewhere. Signing hits. You know what? It's maybe in the rule book, to be honest. It does state that I don't have to retreat if I want to just sit there and take step losses. I suppose it'd just be nice to read it out for you in the rules. I'll find it first, Grant. Hang on. Yeah, here we go. Page 32, 13.41, processing hits. It's the third bullet, the very last bullet. It's up on the next sort of... I don't know how you say that. Right, anyway. You're not required to retreat or disperse Soviet units. You may choose to apply all hits as step losses. So I'm not required to retreat. I don't need to retreat a second X if I don't want to. And I don't want to. So we will do that. And then that means that they're not going to be able to basically, have another impulse with these 40 core units, isn't it? Is it another, what is it, another, conduct another activation with same command card after current activation. 10.56. 10.56. Major offensive bonus activation. The action card major, I read this recently, didn't I? Action card major offensive will reward the Germans with a second activation if one or more attacks triggered by the card cause the total elimination or dispersal of the attack's target. If this is achieved in one or more attacks triggered by the major offensive card, then upon completion of the current activation, conduct one new separate activation command using the same command card. Yeah, so it just means these guys get to do all this again. That's horrible. So, yeah, I'm glad I was able to stop that then. And I didn't think I was until I realised that, yeah, you can do this, Grant. Right, so, however, he has a hit to take. And he did not, I was looking back on intelligence, but he needed to be, the battle needed to be in unsupported territory. And he would have disregarded the first hit, but that's not the case. So he's going to take that hit. So yeah, first hit, remove a step. Unit with the most steps, and then highest selector number. So he's got a 3-stepper, hasn't he? This is the same as us. He's got to take it on the 3-stepper. So this guy, GRWIK, he's the only one that's in there actually, I think. Yeah. So that's good. He loses 2 strength. So he's the one that takes the hit for the Germans. That one goes away. And, oops. That satisfies their hit. Yeah, no artillery chits there again, was there? No. Severe lack of artillery in this game. Right, so advance after combat. Well, nah. Yeah, we're losing a victory point, guys. Advance after combat. German advance after combat. So in ascending order, well, it's not going to be this guy anymore. He was Unit 1, but now he's not. So it's this guy here, mechanised. However, we only retreated 1 hex, so they're only getting to advance 1 hex. And, you know, rule of advance, the first that applies, VP hex, yeah, it's an automatic advance, so we take that away. He goes in there, and we lose a victory point. We're down to 23. He can't advance the second hex. That's like I've said, we've only retreated once. So Unit 4, would he advance into here? It is a VP hex. There's a unit already in there. On a roll of 1 to 6, he'll advance. That's an 8, so no. So he's not advancing, so we'll go 7, 17 and 18. So 7 into VP hex. Again, it's a roll of 1 to 6. It's a 1 this time, so he will go in. And then the infantry, well, there's already 2 units in the hex, so these won't advance in. Restriction wise, unit in hex and German supply won't advance into hex, not in German supply. That's okay, he is in German supply. Unit will advance into surrounded hex. Well, it's not. Only if it was a VP hex, well, which it is, but it's not surrounded. Unit won't advance if doing so causes Soviet proximity to anti-garrison town city hex. No. Mechanised unit won't advance into marsh hex. Okay, all done. Right, yeah, very good. Not. So, I don't know. Well, Popov are going to have to try and do something about that. Yeah, definitely. Not quite sure how and whatever. Right, so we've still got, well that was, well, yeah, we can look at major offensive still, considering this guy's a lead unit. He actually brings his buddy with him this time, doesn't he? Because we're still looking back at major offensive. This guy is now the lead unit. Hang on, situational strength of active unit stack and other active units. See, I think I asked this one before. Does it mean that cause third corps are a lower number than 40 corps, does this become the lead unit? I think it does, and that's what scares me, because the bottom part of this is non-active proximate units and lead units army join attack. And there's quite a lot of third corps units. I might need to just check up on lead unit. I mean, or does it have to be from the active core? It's just that if these two units were active, then it does say that if you get the same selector number, then you look at the lower core. So third core is lower than 40 core, which tends to make me think that this, but that feels a little strange when it's 40 core. It could just be how it is, to be honest. I actually think it probably does look at the... I mean, maybe I should just jump in here and see if they've got enough strength to attack something that's got 3 times proximate, which is probably not the case, but it's quite interesting, I suppose. So, page 22, 10.4, checking an action card. How to check, I'm going to jump down to. Check to see if the action card's situation applies. If the situation involves active units, check active German units individually in the order indicated on the action card. What that means is in ascending order, right? To determine if the listed situation applies to the unit. The unit being checked is referred to as the lead unit. Do not check units that have already conducted an action. And jump into the second bullet, which is the one that applies... the third bullet, which is the one that applies to us. If the subject is a unit stack and other active units, check to see if the situation applies to a group of units together consisting of the lead unit. The unit being checked is referred to as the lead unit. Yeah, I actually think in this situation, this does become the lead unit, so wouldn't mind confirmation on that one, guys, but anyway, can we... So we've got this, and this, so we've got 5, we've got 7 strength. Can that 7 strength find something that's got 2 strength? Bear in mind, this unit's already been attacked. He's not. So they would need to have a situational strength of something with 2. Bear in mind they've got a -1 for that. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? This has got a stack of like 9, I think, or 7 or something. I mean, admittedly it's out of supply. But I mean, that's going to take it down to, I think it's 9. Do I really need to look? No, don't look, Grant, don't look. Right, it's 9, right. I've looked. So it's 9, so that maybe take it to 8, we've been out of supply. Oh, and he's got an IP, so that keeps it at 9. There's nothing there that could be 2 that we can move into from there. Yeah. Okay, so that's not going to apply. I'm going to put that guy back. I mean, that would have been interesting, because if that third corps unit did become the lead unit and they could do that, then non-active proximate units in the lead unit's army join the attack. So it would, like I say, it would involve all the third corps units that weren't active. Yeah, that's the right. Okay, so we've checked unit 10. You check for lead. We can check this guy as well, but the same situation is going to happen. So we're done with major offensive, right? So let's look at the next card, which is attack. Seemed to have been sitting there for a while. So situational strength of active unit stack greater than or equal to 2 times proximal. Well, again, this comes to this is an active unit stack, and again, I think I would check this as being the wage unit because it's the lower core. It doesn't matter. We're checking them together. It's 5 strength. Can I find anything with 2 times? Again, you're looking for something with a 2 strength. It's not going to happen, so I'm just going to skip on by. And that's the same. So, I think they've done enough anyway, you know? Damn Germans. Okay, so that was step 3 and 4, wasn't it? Let me get my query back. Step 5. Right, in descending order, so looking at this unit first. And now we're not considering the unit underneath here. It's just select the number, the 40 core unit on top. Well, I'm looking at this guy. Move to Hex, it removes dangerous round from a German unit in Hex and Soviet support, or enable supply trays. Now, this could be looked at because all these units are quite possibly in dangerous round. So, quite interesting how that works. You know, and they've moved into that without a care major offensive, and now somebody's going to come along and maybe get them out of it. Maybe not though, because to be honest, he's. Well, this is in dangerous surround. This is in dangerous surround, and my guess is this as well. Yeah, so they're all in dangerous surround. Can this unit move 1, 2, 3? That doesn't help there, 4. So 4, 5. I don't think 5 helps either, does it? Because I can go 1, 2, 3 into here, surround that guy. Yeah, so I think if anything, it would have to be the full movement into there. I'm not so sure that would. It might get this guy out. No. Yeah, no, it might get that guy out of dangerous round actually. Yeah, I think it might. So we can move into there and we can move into here. So these two are still surrounded and these two are still surrounded. This guy, however, does have an out into here. Can we get around? This unit's moved into here, isn't he? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's not going to matter then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's not an out for him anymore. So is he surrounded with that? Zoc, 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 zoc. Yeah, he's still surrounded, isn't he? He's still surrounded, so that guy moving around does not help any of them. Hang on, Grant. 1. Oh, did I count the breaking his zone of control? I don't think I did I? 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't. 5, 6. So yeah, this is the best I could do of this. Right, okay. Well, that makes it even worse then. So no, he cannot. Is this guy in any danger? I don't think so. No, he's not. So, okay, so no, we cannot. And this guy's the same, I think. Yeah, because along here, there's not a. I can't sneak into here, so he's going to maybe come around and help there, but I can't get into there. Okay. Right, so that's step 5 done with. Step 6 is move proximate to empty Soviet VP hex. No. there's not any. We had one briefly before the advanced after combat. Yeah, ouch. Right, 7. Move to hex that causes surround of Soviet unit. Maybe. And again, descending order. Yeah, so looking at this guy. Oh, well, to be honest, he's actually surrounding that guy, so he might be restricted to move anyway. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case, actually, because... Right, hang on. This guy's surrounded. Is this guy surrounded? He is, isn't he? Yeah, because we already... That's why we didn't retreat out of this hex, because we knew we were going to take a step loss. So he's surrounded, we can't surround this. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to surround. These are already surrounded. They're going to have to fight their way out of that. Oh, they're not even going to be able to trace supply. Oh no. Maybe, right, we've got an any one unit move. Yeah, we can do that and get the guys in supply. I don't want them going out of supply. Oh, jings. Right, okay. So, 8, right, not quite finished though. Step 8, if not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to nearest Soviet unit in ascending order. So, he's adjacent, so that's him, he's done. He's adjacent. Right, good. Remove disperse markers from any units in the active units. No. Okay, all done. Well, that was not good, but there you go. Major offensive. Well, we managed to avoid them. I mean, can you imagine if we are going to now let them have another go? That's what would have happened there. What did I do last turn? I replaced a point, didn't I? I'm just showing third tank activated, but I'm getting lazy with the encounters. Right, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, nasty. Yeah, they've not got that many cards left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got 8 cards left, but they're going to get one more impulse. Well, yeah. However, I have at least found a use for this card, I think, and it's like getting these guys a supply trace, I think. Because I know I can't do anything about the isolate. Well, what's going to come as an isolated unit. We should have this guy back in supply, I think. Right, well, you know what? That's going to be going into our last impulse. So we'll wrap this up here, and I'll get this put together as well. I've put 2 or 3 bits together today, so I'm pretty good. Yeah, so I'll be back with... Oh, I can't remember what part this is. This is 57, is it? I think so. Right, well, I'll be back with the next part. Maybe I've still got a little time, maybe not, to be honest. That is getting late now. We'll see. Okay, cheers guys.